3 weeks ago, Americans were paying $600 a night just to sleep here. Today, that same room is going for under $100, and they're practically begging you to take it. This isn't a sale. This isn't a deal. This is what panic looks like in the most expensive city on earth. Dubai, the place that sold itself as the safest, most luxurious destination on the planet, just collapsed overnight. And what caused it? An Iranian drone strike. Right here, on the Palm, on February 28th, 2026. I'm going to show you exactly how a $500 million per day tourism machine ground to a complete halt. In less than 7 days. Stay with me, because this story is way bigger than Dubai. Picture this. 3 weeks ago, a luxury hotel on the ultra-exclusive Palm Jumeirah, one of the most recognizable landmarks on the planet, had a waiting list. Every single night. We're talking $600 a night rooms. Fully booked, no exceptions. It was February, peak season, the moment when Dubai is at its absolute finest and its most expensive. Now fast forward to today. That same hotel is running desperate stay and dine promotions for barely 349 dirhams per person. Do the math. That's less than $100, and they're giving you back every cent in food and beverage credit. They are essentially giving the room away for free. Want more proof of how bad this is? The Andaz Palm Jumeirah, a name that used to mean untouchable luxury, is now listing one-bedroom family suites for just $123 a night. And those iconic Burj Khalifa view apartments that normally go for $272? Being liquidated right now for $191. So here's the real question Americans should be asking. Is this the beginning of the end for Dubai's luxury bubble? Or is this just a temporary crack in the glass? Because the numbers don't lie. And what they're screaming right now is something a lot of powerful people don't want you to hear. These aren't seasonal discounts. These aren't clever marketing deals. What you're looking at are panic rates. The price of fear in a city that went from record occupancy to below 20% in a single weekend. So what happened? On February 28th, 2026, the Fairmont Hotel, sitting right on that famous palm-shaped island, was struck by an Iranian drone and consumed by fire. But it didn't stop there. The Burj Al Arab, that sail-shaped tower that is Dubai to the rest of the world, had debris shatter its iconic facade. Near the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building on earth, smoke turned the sky black. And then, the gut punch, Dubai International Airport, the world's busiest international airport, hit, evacuated, shut down. The highways that are normally packed with tourists heading to brunches and beach clubs on a Saturday night in February, empty, silent, deserted. The pulse of the city just stopped. Forget the record projections. Forget the 19.5 million visitors Dubai was planning to welcome this year. Here's what the data actually shows right now. Occupancy dropped 35 to 60% in the very first week. That's from Smith Travel Research, the gold standard for hotel industry data. But at the luxury level, Palm Jumeirah, downtown Dubai, internal reports show occupancy falling below 20%. And some projections, single digits in the coming weeks. The Waldorf Astoria on the Palm has slashed its prices in what can only be described as desperation mode. Marriott, IHG, the biggest hotel brands in the world, all reporting booking collapses across the region. Listen to what the CEO of Majestic Hotels told Skift directly. The next 2 weeks look very, very slow. We're seeing cancellations between 70 and 75% for the next 15 days because of the war. And here's what makes the timing catastrophic for Dubai. Eid al-Fitr, one of the most important travel periods in the entire Gulf. The moment when tens of thousands of visitors from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar flood into Dubai for a long weekend of luxury spending. According to insiders, that engine has completely seized up too. More than 700 Emirates and Etihad flights canceled in under 2 weeks. 20,000 passengers stranded in uncertainty, and it gets more surreal. The MSC Magnifica cruise ship, carrying 6,300 passengers, sat anchored in Dubai's port, unable to let anyone off. Why? Because there were no flights out for them. MSC has now canceled all its winter routes in the region. Tourism Economics, one of the most respected forecasting firms in the travel industry, is now projecting the Middle East could lose between 23 and 38 million international visitors in 2026 alone. That translates to between $34 and $56 billion in lost tourism spending. In Dubai alone, for every single day that airspace remains closed, the estimated loss is $500 million per day. And remember, tourism is 12% of the UAE's entire economy. This isn't just a bad quarter. This is a financial earthquake. Here's what most people miss about this story. Every great tourism destination in the world sells you something real. Paris sells you history. The Maldives sells you untouched nature. Kyoto sells you thousands of years of culture. Tuscany sells you its vineyards and its soul. But Dubai? Dubai's product was different. Dubai sold certainty. Its promise to every traveler, especially wealthy American travelers, was crystal clear. Come spend your money here, and we guarantee you the most controlled, most perfect, most secure experience in the most volatile region on the planet. Your flight will be on time. Your hotel will be flawless. Nothing, absolutely nothing, will go wrong. That promise of invulnerability is what justified the $600 a night rooms. That's what made it worth flying 14 hours from New York or LA. But what happens when that promise breaks on live television in front of the entire world? When absolute security becomes uncertainty, the product ceases to exist, and that is exactly what is happening right now. Here's what should really alarm you, because this crisis exposed cracks that were already there long before February 28th. Dubai has a summer problem that no amount of marketing can fix. From May through September, temperatures exceed 104 degrees Fahrenheit, with humidity so brutal that any outdoor activity becomes physically dangerous. The luxury tourist, the one spending $600 a night, simply won't go. In a normal year, a room that costs $620 in December gets discounted to $250 in June. Vacation rental occupancy sinks to 38% during those summer months. This is a city that can only charge full price for about half the year. The Iranian attacks didn't just damage buildings. They devoured the final weeks of the only season that financially matters. Without those March and April revenues, how do Dubai's luxury hotels survive the summer? The cash flow was cut at the most critical moment. The engine stopped right before the steepest hill. And here's something remarkable. The depth of this brand problem was actually admitted by Dubai's own tourism CEO, Issam Kazim, at a major global forum in late 2024. Before any of this happened, he said people told him Dubai was beautiful, but it had no soul. When a destination lacks cultural depth, the only product it can sell is perfection. Take away the perfection, and what's left? Here's where it gets really interesting for American travelers. Greece is not under threat from Iranian missiles. Japan doesn't have drones flying over its temples. Portugal, Italy, Southeast Asia, all of these destinations are open right now, with their lights on and their hotels ready. Tourism economics has already named the biggest beneficiaries of this collapse. Turkey and Egypt are emerging as the destinations that will capture the luxury leisure traveler who was headed to the Gulf. The money doesn't disappear, it just changes direction. And here's the truly dangerous part for Dubai. Many of those travelers who reroute to Athens or Kyoto or Lisbon will discover something that challenges Dubai's dominance for years. Because once you experience the safety and authentic charm of another destination, why risk going back to a place where the sky literally burned? Luxury tourists are notoriously fickle, and Dubai just gave them permission and a reason to explore the rest of the world. Don't underestimate Dubai's resilience. That would be a mistake. During COVID, Dubai's population fell 8.4% in 2020. Within 2 years, the city was setting record visitor numbers. Its ability to bounce back is real and documented, but this recovery is fundamentally different, and here's the critical reason why. The pandemic was a global crisis. Every destination in the world suffered simultaneously. When it ended, Dubai's competitive position was essentially unchanged. Its rivals were dealing with the same damage. This 2026 shock is geographically selective. Turkey, Greece, Japan, Southeast Asia, they never closed. Their lights stayed on. And the tourists who canceled Dubai have already moved their bags to those destinations. Many of those travelers will discover new favorites that will challenge Dubai's dominance for years. Former FAA air traffic control official Mike McCormick didn't hold back. He called this the most chaotic event for global aviation since 9/11. History teaches us one brutal lesson about events like this. When a total breakdown of the sense of security occurs at this scale, the return to normal is not measured in weeks, it is measured in years. There are things Dubai can control, and things it can't. It cannot control the geopolitical chessboard. The tensions that caused these attacks are beyond any tourism office's reach. What it can control is how it structurally rebuilds toward a far more resilient model. Being the tallest or most luxurious city is no longer enough. Dubai now has to prove it can operate in a world where absolute invulnerability no longer exists. The luxury supply bubble needs to be examined with brutal honesty. Does it really make sense to keep opening another 12,000 hotel rooms in a market that just lost 2 months of income from its golden season? Dubai is entering an era of last-minute, cautious, flexible bookings, where the traveler no longer commits long-term, and that summer problem isn't going away. Clever marketing campaigns aren't enough. What's needed is massive, real investment in indoor infrastructure at a scale never attempted before to stop being a seasonal destination. But most critically, the security brand. That cannot be rebuilt with a brilliant PR campaign or beautiful Instagram content. It requires real, sustained diplomatic work. Dubai has to look across the Gulf toward a neighbor that has now demonstrated, unmistakably, that it has both the will and the capability to strike Dubai's most iconic addresses. Without diplomatic peace, luxury is just a glass castle waiting for the next impact. Dubai's future will not be decided in tourism offices. It will be decided at negotiation tables. The empty resorts you see right now are not a glitch in an otherwise perfect business model. They are the real, deep, painful crack between what Dubai sold to the world and what the world can actually trust today. Rebuilding that broken faith won't take weeks. It will take years of sustained effort. Now I want to hear from you. Were you planning a trip to Dubai? Did you cancel? Where are you going instead? And why? If you're someone who wants to understand what's really happening on the global travel map, not just the headlines, but the deeper economic forces reshaping where the world's money flows, subscribe. Because this conversation about the future of luxury travel has only just begun.